Yes. Soon enough, you will forget. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another episode of Prince William by Night, The Night Shift. I am storyteller Ratneff, and I will be telling the story tonight. And I will now I will have the cast introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Walsh. You can find me online at Ventrude1399, and I will be playing Carlisle J. Milliner.
Good evening. It is I, Mr. White, back again for a special night. Oh, what fun. Currently being played by Bitwad, followed everywhere at Bitwad.
Okay, I am Chase. I will be wearing the flesh suit of Dr. St. Germain.
Hello, I'm Mark. I'll be playing Luke Lennox tonight, and you can find me on Instagram at paintingplant.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I go by Alnestra, and I play Sarah Strong.
Hey everybody, I'm SailIrish on Twitch, and I'm going to be playing Javier Grillo.
So we find our coterie and other assorted vampires 2 nights after they last met during Dia de los Muertos, where they had performed a couple of ceremonies, one to communicate with Jax's mother, and the other to essentially torture Mr. White for information. They had agreed that they were going to investigate the home of Jonathan Keates. Tonight, that is what they intend to do. We will start with Javier and Luke, who are preparing to head to the location.
So, you had a chance to look at the gun.
I did, yes.
Is it good? I mean, it looks kind of like an old AK. I mean, is everything good with it?
It's in good working order. If you were looking for something a little more expressive in ammunition, it'll need some improvements.
Yeah, with the place where we are, I figured silver might be a good idea.
Well, interestingly enough, silver or phosphor require most of the same work.
That's good to know. So is, is he still here, or?
Oh, he's always around.
I see you.
You just can't hear him.
Talking.
At the moment, yes.
Fuck. Okay. So, how are you feeling about the whole thing tonight?
Any chance to strengthen the library is a good idea.
Yeah, we can't exactly pick up that stuff off the local place.
Amazon does not deliver what we require.
No.
We will shuffle the scene to Mr. C.J. Milner and Dr. Germain, who are needing to also head their way to the locale.
When did you plan on dropping the bombshell for the coterie about shindig?
CJ, I think that will be something I decide soon, but I actually need to get to the extended family first. You look like shit.
Yes, I do.
Do you need to eat?
I do.
Jude will like immediately get out, go back, come back with a little briefcase and set it in the front seat, and they will hop in the back seat.
He would open the briefcase and eat as he continued conversing and heading over to the three monkeys.
No. Stop the vehicle.
He'd pull over and stop the vehicle. Everything all right?
I can't have you at anything other than fully operational.
You do understand you can't just automatically bounce back from a touch with the abyss, right?
CJ, I need you to take care of yourself.
Oh, I intend to. But it's not just going to take a single evening. We've had enough on our plate as it is. I didn't plan on having this compound those issues, but I will take care of myself as much as I can.
We can go.
Starts up the vehicle again. Heads out.
As you drive your way to the Three Monkeys, meanwhile, in the Three Monkeys, it is a Wednesday night, Tuesday night, early in the week. It's quiet. There's a couple of tables, a couple of people at the bar. Sara is sitting in a corner working on a bunch of paperwork, and the two noticeable changes to the staff are a pair of Asian waitresses who have been brought to the domain so that Sara can be watched and looked after. What is Sara doing?
Sara is currently searching for some children in Prince William. Jax has specifically asked Sara to look into her family from the farm and where the children ended up. And so she's been doing that while also continuing the search for her grandchild and speaking to Francesca, her great-grandniece. And she is speaking to Francesca. It is in Sicilian.
So, Mr. Milner and Germain pull up in the 300 in front of the Three Monkeys, which is open and white.
Gonna wait in the vehicle.
Step out. Head inside. Attempt to spot Sara.
You see her in a corner table by herself, surrounded by some paperwork, a laptop, and she's clearly on the phone, speaking. As you come closer to the table, you recognize that she's primarily speaking Italian.
Va bene, va bene. Io andiamo. I have to go. CJ,
Hope I wasn't interrupting anything too important, Sara.
just a phone call.
Jude's outside in the vehicle. Whenever you're ready.
Won't take me long, just a moment.
Very well.
She packs up her laptop and brings it with her. along with some
Or
papers.
turn and head out. I would turn and head out, open up the door for Sara, jump back into the 300 en route to meet up at the train tracks.
So everyone heads
route.
west towards the edge of Old Town Manassas to the home of Jonathan Keates. What you find as both cars essentially approach at the same time is a house that has been built out of shipping containers, but when one says that, you think a bunch of boxes, strapped together and welded. No, this is a rather nice upper middle class home that the structure is made of shipping containers, but there is bay windows and a walkout. However, it is effectively derelict. It has been abandoned. There is noticeable scoring from a fire, notably on the second floor. And there's little or no light.
Luke is gonna slide down the window to stick his head out. He's gonna try to see if he can smell anything unusual or lupine in the area.
So make a wits and awareness and add your heightened senses. Just routine.
So that is 5 successes.
It smells like a autumn night. There's maybe raccoons, squirrel, or skunks. Maybe the odd, deer that's wandered into the wooded area. There's no immediate smell of the lupine or anything else notable.
I think it's clean, Mr. Grillo. I don't smell anything wolf-like.
I'm gonna sense the unseen.
All right. So
I just want to take a good look.
So use, what is it?
It's
Use
Auspex.
resolve
If
and Auspex.
So what is it? Wits, awareness, and auspex?
it's just wits and your discipline. If you're doing a quick look, if you're doing a in-depth like search, it's resolve.
Well, yeah, I want to do a pretty thorough search.
Yeah,
in this
resolve
place.
and auspex when doing an active.
Okay. So I need to rouse.
You don't need to rouse.
Free.
It's a level 1 discipline.
Level 1. you
I
don't
want to rouse
rouse.
the blood to search.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So-
so you're going to increase your result.
Right.
Okay.
Don't get hungrier. So let's see.
So since this is our first roll,
4 successes.
I got
Ooh,
5.
excellent.
All mine.
Okay. And because it's the first roll for the night, we'll do the standard routes. However, we're doing a little bit different. Roll your 3 dice, and what you fail is your hunger. This is the idea being that time has passed and hunger ebbs and flows. 2 for Sara, 2 for Luke, 1 for Javier.
And
2
that's
and 2.
including Blush of Life.
Yes. Oh yeah, you have Blush of Life.
So do
Likewise.
Javier's got Blush of Life, and Sara has Blush of Life. Excellent.
Mandatory.
So with Sense the Unseen, well, the only thing you see that's in the vicinity is one Mr. White. Floating very close to Javier. And clearly tethered to his pocket.
I'm here.
Light. Make yourself useful. Look around.
I will investigate.
Alright. So make a wits and awareness.
Sure.
Throw that for you.
Which would remain with whatever they were upon your death.
How's an 8 sound?
8 successes?
Yes.
Alright. So,
I critted.
zipping around, health itself seems clearly in a disheveled state. The only thing that catches your eye is in a tree, propped up in the crook of a couple limbs, is something with a red blinking light.
Naughty. I see that blinker. I see the blinker in the tree. Mr. Grillo.
I'm gonna look and see if I can see what he's talking about.
It would look very similar to, well, an intelligence and technology room.
AI as well.
Presuming he points it out to you. Sure.
I'm pointing
Ooh.
at the you can see and listen.
6 successes, a messy crit.
Right. So
I had a
you
dice.
have 4 dice. Well done, sir. Well done. You would guess that it is some sort of game cam, or the kind of camera that's wireless and placed in game trails or people who have cabins in the woods. It's kind of like their security system. It has no wires, has no antenna. It's just all box. Probably strapped to the tree with a zip tie.
Can I go rip it off?
Yep.
I'm gonna do that and then point the camera at the ground.
Okay. And other than that, there didn't.
I would basically. We may be being watched. I've moved the camera, but there may be others.
Gotcha. So when you turn around, Luke is wearing this.
He comes prepared for beanie.
Fantastic.
The doggy makes tricks.
So Sara is gonna pull out a technology camera sniffer, like understanding whether there's
Basically, a packet sniffer.
yeah.
You're using your laptop to search the area for wireless connections or wireless signals and determine what you can. So that would be intelligence,
And technology.
and if you have a specialty in computers, you would use that.
3 successes.
All right. You're able to get the MAC address off the device. You know it's transmitting. It has maybe some sort of solar panel on it that's used to recharge the battery that's in it. And By knowing the MAC address, you know the manufacturer of the wireless card, but it's nothing innocuous. It's probably just a, you know, okay, you're able to actually figure out it's probably a Apple Pie, little mini computer that's been configured and turned into a camera. So it's not a over-the-shelf model. It's something someone has built.
So, what is it? Luke asks, looking over Sarah's
Whose
shoulder.
is it?
Not sure, but somebody built it.
Can I record audio?
It probably is designed to record both video, audio, and infrared.
Destroy
Because
it.
it's a night cam, but it's tripped by motion.
Mm-hmm.
Go up behind you.
You go up behind it.
Yes.
Well, it's
Okay.
already pointing at the ground. I ripped it off the tree and pointed it at the ground.
And you were able to open the back to determine what you determined. So right now it's looking at leaves.
At dirt, basically, yeah.
Sarah will quietly return to the group. Whispering, "What do you want to do?"
Hack it or destroy it.
I'm gonna try to get into it on my laptop.
Okay. So you're going to try to piggyback on the signal. There's a man in the middle of that. One of you.
Willpower gives me 3 successes.
All right. Being omnidirectional, you can't be certain where the signal is going directionally, but you are able to determine there is a receiver within transmission range that is probably rebroadcasting it somewhere else. And being a wireless device with not a lot of power, it's probably within the 100-meter range. So somewhere within the 100 meters of this, there is something else that is receiving the signal.
Oops. I will quietly try to find that device.
Okay. Make another intelligence and technology roll. What you're now trying to do is packet sniff the other side by using a directional sort of like, oh, there it is. It's like pinging, except a bit more.
4 with a 10.
All right. It'll take you some time. So while that's going on, what is the rest of the group doing?
Luke looks to Jude and asks, so what are we looking for exactly? I know you said you didn't want the nod thing, but...
Oh, I don't. Yeah, that. The Wicked Knot is a collection of fucking fairy tales, and I'm not interested in that.
So what are you interested in?
I'm interested in any notes, anything of actual substance that this person had. I'm interested in keeping it out of other people's hands.
Well, assuming it didn't get burned in the fire, I mean, I think I know where it could be.
What is that thing on top of your head?
It's
This actually improves his look, CJ. Anyways, it's good that you're keeping your face covered.
yeah. I mean, I generally do this when I do my thing.
Yeah.
Luke's gonna look at the building, figure out the easiest way to get in, unless it's like there's unless there's like obviously like a broken window or something you can crawl through or something.
There is indeed. Unless it took care of it. There was a broken window last time we were all here.
There's a broken window. At least one of the doors into the building is ajar, with debris and leaves blocking the door from closing.
Is that next to the big hunted symbol
we'll get
that's
to that.
etched?
We'll get to that. So, being an abandoned building, probably most of the windows are broken in some way, shape, or form. There is signs of people squatting here, inside, outside, beer cans, alcohol bottles, probably needles, and there's graffiti on the outer wall. And anybody who's looking, make a... 1 second. Well, Jude can make an intelligence and a craft with his art specialty roll. Because you do have that, don't you? You have craft?
No, I have craft, but it's specifically for sewing.
Okay, so no. But that's... Yeah, everyone make an intelligence and craft. Or who's looking at the building. So Sara would not be included because she's off wandering through the woods by herself.
What a occult perk?
After you make the first one.
Okay.
Craft or what now?
So intelligence and craft.
Okay.
Because there's a whole bunch of graffiti on the wall.
Deuce.
Okay. You have a extra point of success, Luke, because you know what you're looking for.
Oh,
I got
5.
That's a good roll for me.
Hey, you're on fire. So
I'm gonna activate Oblivion Sight, and besides the graffiti, just look over the entire building in general.
okay. You make
4
that roll.
successes. 4 successes, both are crits.
So, Luke, you know the symbol that used to be here has been integrated into some sort of graffiti. Jude, you're able to recognize that there's a central scratch in the wall that's been, embellished. Javier, you clearly see what looks like a deep scratch that it looks like a reverse open-sided triangle with a middle line. So think of an E, but instead of being circular, being square. So like 245 degrees and a line in between.
Like an arrow pointing left almost.
Yeah. Just not elongated. It's all equal on
Yeah.
that side.
Arrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And CJ, nothing stands out with Oblivion Sight. Just looks abandoned.
Okay, I guess I'll go in then. Luke says, not elaborating on anything specifically, and crawling through the nearest broken window, turning on his Eyes of the Beast to alleviate the darkness. And he's gonna head towards where he knows the lab should be from the last time he was here.
The lab is up on the uppermost level because there's a vent hooded,
Okay.
hood vent that would release the fumes. It is where the worst of the fire damage is.
So I guess he's gonna go to where he got the hand/arm originally, because he remembers there being a bookcase near there.
That would be where the safe is, because you got it from the safe.
Yeah.
So you go up to the lab, notice that floor is pretty much destroyed by fire. But it was contained in that part of the building for some reason. Probably because it's a giant metal structure.
Yeah.
And then you're coming back down. CJ or Jude or Javier, are you going to enter the building, or are you remaining on the outside until Luke gives you some sort of signal?
I'm
Oh
waiting
no,
for,
I'll go in.
I'm waiting for
I'm
Sarah to
gonna-
give me the okay.
I'm gonna give Javier a little mental tap of. I remember the scratch on the wall. Guru speak, or maybe something more. Still here. You might want to look,
So,
or not.
So I'll
CJ,
look.
are you going in or just Javier?
I did it also.
Okay. So going into the main floor, you notice people have squatted here. There's leaves and detritus that have blown through the house. There's nests that are probably abandoned, being as it's autumn and things have probably moved on. And the furniture in the house. Make an intelligence and stealth roll.
Is that everyone that goes in or just him?
Two of you.
Oh, okay. 3.
Okay. So you'll notice the furniture's been tossed aside. You'd almost think it was ransacked. Both for people looking for stuff and sort of destructive purpose.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, that the building is... The interior furniture was tossed aside, broken. Some of it is people clearly looking, like ransacking the house, and
Okay.
somebody else vandalizing.
People are
I'll
definitely
hand-
searching here before us.
Clearly. We should still look to see if there's anything useful here. White, what do you know of this place?
Lots of things. I can help. Okay, so precise. Yeah, concise. You want concise. So, there's books on the shelf to the right. There's a room where a woman's body might be in the bedroom next door. You know, one door over. And there's a big wolf scratch on the wall outside. I think. Yeah, I saw it, I think.
I saw
And-
it too, White.
Good. And there's a lab upstairs.
The lab upstairs. Okay. So we should go check the lab, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and there's a safe there, I think. I remember yeah, I think.
Very well. Let's get on with it, and I'll start walking upstairs.
Yeah, well, you're...
There's also my book here too. Yeah, my book's here too. You might want that.
I'll grab it.
So Luke having gone up to the highest most level, and
Yes.
he's probably coming down as you're going up to the middle level.
So I didn't find anything in the lab, you're saying?
No, the lab is basically completely destroyed by fire.
Okay.
It done burned.
Yeah, I opened the safe the last time I was here, so maybe anything else in there.
Did you take everything out of the safe?
I took the wolf hand out of the safe. So I remember it was like
The way I had the building laid out, the upstairs, the lab, it was the lab, and then a section like extended was the library and like a lounge situation, and
Okay.
then was like my private bedroom, and the safe would have been in my bedroom.
Okay.
oh, so there's just okay, so it's a different safe.
So the safe's in the bedroom, and the library is between the lab and the bedroom.
Correct.
All right. So everyone basically convenes on that floor. Coming up, you see what you figure was some form of chemistry lab, but it's completely burned and broken. Fire. There's a library. Books are all over the place. The books are not in great condition, having been exposed to the elements. So there is water damage, rodent damage, people probably ripping out pages to make a fire somewhere to keep warm. It would have been an extensive, valuable library. Now it's a shambles to what it was.
So as everyone arrives to the floor, you can see Luke kind of like flipping over and looking at the books as if he like knows what he's supposed to be looking for, but he's just kind of just looking at all of them.
So there are books of all types: philosophy, poetry, academia,
Occult science, like
Yeah, Javier's looking for occult books.
and there is a lot of books that are really old, like books that are bound from the 1800s all the way through to the current era.
I'm taking all of them.
Well, those that aren't destroyed. The majority of them are in some way, shape, or form ruined. If you want, please make a intelligence and an investigation roll.
Okay.
And CJ, you can do the same if you're rummaging through the books.
I'm actually not. I'm going to continue on and head to the bedroom.
Okay.
You said
Searching there.
intelligence and investigation.
Yeah.
You want me with the big guy?
Yeah.
Where do you want me? Huh? I can help. You want me with the big guy, the small guy, or the mystery guy?
Okay. So, I'm guessing the safe is not in the open. It's behind. No, it's in the open. Just a big.
no, it's not in the open.
No, it's not in the open. No. So yeah. So Luke knows where the safe is, having previously opened it. Now you're
As does
not
White.
going to the safe, right, Luke?
No, I'm looking through the books.
Okay. And you got.
I'm looking for the safe.
Well, you know where it is. Like that's
Yeah.
when you told me about it. You're basically like, "Hey, go look here."
Yeah, I'm basically floating in front of the safe, like over here.
CJ, you go into the bedroom. The bed is not the kind of thing you want to get too close to for fear of some contagion. Because it's probably it's been a year that squatters and other people have been in here, God knows doing what. But you do find, after a few moments, a wall safe.
Is it open or is it shut?
At the moment, it appears shut.
I think I found something in here, guys.
As for Javier and Luke, you're probably able to scrounge bits and pieces of books. You're not going to find any complete book. Any book you found that's bound is probably glued together by moisture and mold. The really old books would have suffered poorly because of the weather, because they wouldn't have been bleached like modern books are. But you were able to cobble something.
Anything that seems useful.
Yeah, clearly.
And just sort through it later.
Now, Sara, in the meantime, you're walking, basically finding the strongest signal and then taking it where you will. Ultimately, you come to the backyard or to the tree line of a yard or house that has a old style antenna up the side of the house. And from what you can gather, the repeater is similarly to how the camera was strapped to that antenna and has cables coming out of it.
Was I able to pick up any information about where this repeater is going?
No. But this repeater is a much stronger device. So it's able to pick up the signal and then boost it more directionally. So you do know the direction that it's going, but you don't know how far. Could be kilometers.
At this point, I don't think I want anyone knowing that we're around. The last time we investigated, we got into a bit of trouble. So I think this repeater is gonna have an accident.
Make a wits and awareness roll.
Or after willpower.
That's what, the second willpower you burned tonight?
Yeah.
Alright. So this just looks like a residential house. It doesn't appear out of the ordinary in any way, shape, or form. It just looks like someone's home. And it is completely possible that that repeater has been installed without their knowledge. But you're going to head your way back to the container house.
You're moving.
Oh, you were actually going to take it off. Oh, my mistake. So that would be a dexterity and stealth roll, please.
Gonna rouse the blood.
Okay.
And I get hungry.
Ooh, you got 3 now. And you hear your husband's voice. Peter, what the fuck you doing? Get down, you bitch!
Antonio!
You don't listen to me. That's why you get the...
Critical. 3 successes.
Okay. So you were able to scramble up, literally the antenna, because it's one of those 3-pole reinforced antennas that have a thing on the top. So you get up, do it. You'll now need to make a
Strength.
but I'm thinking make a strength and athletics.
One success.
All right, so you are able to yank it off, and yourself as well.
And 3 willpower burn.
So you do rip it out. You're trying to disconnect it, and then you just kind of shit and fall, but it comes with you, and you've clearly ripped it out. There was 2 connections. One was an internet connection, and the other one was a coaxial connection, and the other one was a power.
Sarah's good at falling.
Break your fall with the machine.
Well, it's only a fall of like 10 or 15 feet, so it's you just sort of hit the ground. Take a 1 superficial move. Just landing awkwardly.
Yeah, still think Jude is taking the point of being the lookout right now.
Yeah.
Making sure that they have eyes on all the entrances, all the vehicles, and making sure still with the sense the unseen.
Okay.
Eventually, Sarah will dust herself off and head back towards Jude.
Okay. Meanwhile, there's a safe.
So I'm assuming Luke is currently working on the safe, trying to open it. And while he's doing that, he's saying, he's like working at it. He's like also trying to hold a conversation with Milliner at the same time. He's like, so what's up with Jude and that nod thing?
What do you mean?
Well, he doesn't seem to like it. I mean, it's just a book. Like, who cares?
Everybody has their beliefs.
Oh, huh. Oh, so it's like a... Oh, I get what he means. It's like a religious kind of disagreement.
Some people interpret it as that.
Huh. Never really took Jude for the religious type. Never really took him for the religious type.
Speaking of religious endeavors, you seem to have a particular interest in other people's beliefs and faiths and whatnot. What do you actually believe in?
Well, I don't know. All I really believe is just some of the stuff from around the fire pits. I mean, you know, we all came from the same mother, cast out of the garden, and she's still out there somewhere. I mean, at least that's what I've been told. That's kind of what I believe. And she gave birth to the 12 of us, and then the wolves betrayed her, went back with God, went back into the garden, and that's why there's us, and that's why there's lupines.
So you're into the garden speak also.
Well,
You hear a lot of that.
I just don't get why Blanka believes any of that, because our mother was cast out of the garden. Why would she want to associate with that? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. Somebody wearing a mask over their head.
Well, I'm a thief. I'm a professional, okay? This is what
Tagging
professional
along
is.
with 4 other individuals that do not have masks on their head.
Well, that's
So
why
it's going to be pretty easy to track who you are eventually.
Just let me focus on this a little bit.
So intelligence and larceny.
Okay.
You don't have a specialty in larceny, do you?
I do have a specialty, but it's not relevant to
It's
this.
B&E, right? Not.
It's
It's not safe
walking.
cracking.
No, I do not have the safe cracking
Yeah.
specialty. It's only
No worries.
intelligence and larceny.
Yes, please.
That is 4 successes.
All right. So, after about halfway through the conversation, you realize 2 things. It's already open. And somebody else probably didn't notice that. As there's like crowbar marks and people trying to break into it more of a forcefully way. but very poorly.
Okay, it'll be about 15 more seconds, then Luke's gonna go, that's it. Okay. He's gonna reach for the handle and pull it open and see what's inside.
So inside there is what you left behind from the last time you were here because it didn't interest you. Is some journals
and
some personal effects.
And I guess the Book of Nod transcripts would be in there.
Nope.
Oh, nope. Okay.
The there's probably a half dozen journals written in the same hand. More like that kind of hand you would expect on like the Declaration of Independence as far as the penmanship. They're dated from various times over the last probably 5-10 years. And they belong to one person.
Luke's gonna pick up one of them and see if there's kind of a name on the front or on the inside page.
There would be the initials. Oh, it just says Keates. Okay.
We got it. Miller, this is it.
What are we looking at?
It's the Keates. It says Keates. It's a journal.
Yeah.
Keates journal. The one that the ghost mentioned like 2 nights ago.
Anything else in there?
I mean, I haven't checked the other books, but it's just books.
No,
Let's just take it all.
There is some pictures. Everything from old style daguerreotypes to black and white to Polaroid to modern.
Based off of your earlier description of this place the other evening, we might as well take everything, so we don't have to make 2 trips.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Okay, so that's what this stuff is. He's gonna take some of the drills and start just like he's gonna take a few of them, put them into his jacket just to carry them out.
Is there anything else in the room, storyteller, that stands out? I mean, besides the obvious that it's a semi-ransacked establishment and the already given info about the bed.
Probably the fact that the furniture would probably all be colonial and like colonial, not colonial style, colonial.
Alright. Let's head out then. Inform the others.
Grillo, did you find anything?
Some tatters of books.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Luke's gonna close the safe up and relock it.
Okay.
He's gonna take out the notepad he usually has and write down what the combination ended up being.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by this point, Sara comes back to where Jude is keeping watch.
Took out the repeater. Should be
I
safe.
don't know what that means.
It's a way for the signal to go to someone else. So
Okay.
any of the cameras around here pointed to the same device wouldn't work.
Thank you. Let's get out of here as soon as they are ready.
Can I have Jude and Sara both make wits and awareness rolls, please?
Sure. Would you mind if I do resolve, since I'm like still like having a conversation but like actively looking?
Sure.
I'm going to Roz as well. I get 1 hungrier.
So you have a hunger of 3 now.
Correct.
4 with a crit.
8 with a crit.
Oh, Jesus.
That dice pool is big for me.
So,
Love it.
You're probably in some sort of cul-de-sac or offline lane. You're not on a main road. Sara hears traffic, like a car possibly approaching. Jude clearly hears a car coming to a stop and doors opening.
I'm gonna yell, "Let's get the fuck out of here now!"
Now, the vehicle in question is not visible. It's far enough away you're hearing it, but you're not actually seeing it. Jude, you're aware of that. The fact that you can't see it is the lights are off and it's a black van.
As soon as I hear,
and start heading out.
Yeah, Luke's gonna start looking at.
ándale, más rápido.
We should hide. Get out of here.
We should get in the car and get the hell out of here.
I'm heading straight to my vehicle.
I'm in the
And straight to mine.
I'll be in CJ 300.
Luke's gonna join Mr. Grillo.
All right. So you get in your vehicles, you start them up. So let's have everyone make wits and awareness rolls as the lights of the vehicle.
I'm at 7.
7,
6 and a messy.
6.
Three.
4.
7 crit.
Okay. So those of you with the lower numbers, there are people in the tree line of this road. They're either using hedges of houses or trees or whatever. You see them barely. Those of you with the higher numbers, there's probably about 4 to 6 individuals wearing tactical gear and working their way to the house.
Mr. Grillo, let's kick it.
Look at it.
We're to 6! A party!
CJ.
I'll be heading out in suit, and still I still have Oblivion sight up, so I'm not turning on headlights. I'm just taking off.
Okay.
CJ, let's take a more scenic route.
That was my plan.
I'm gonna call Javier. Javi,
Yo.
we will be taking a scenic route to wherever we're going. Why don't we?
I'll follow you.
I have a place in mind actually.
Ah,
So
Yeah.
everyone, well, the drivers, so CJ and Javier, please make dexterity and drive rolls.
I'm going to rouse her dex.
You get hungry.
it's actually not a bad idea.
I pass.
Oh my god.
Do not get hungrier.
It was
Thank
close.
Whew. 3.
Alright, so as you're driving along, some dude steps out from behind the van in question, which was parked up the road because this is kind of a cul-de-sac. You're both able to avoid or hit, depending on your choice, and continue.
I would avoid to not waste any unnecessary time.
Likewise.
Right. Now, CJ's driving without headlights. Are you driving without headlights, Javier?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm being his spirit guide.
Luke
He's
is
a GPS.
Yes.
Luke has his revolver
SPS.
flipped out, and he's just making sure all the bullets are in it. And he says to Mr. Grillo, "So where are the guns in the car?"
You're holding
Yeah.
them.
Pedro, calm down. I got you. I can get us anywhere. I know this place.
And my
White, go see who's following us.
Yes, yes. What would be the role for that? Storytelling?
Not really much of a roll. You just zip back to the van. You see some of the people getting back into the van, and the van heading your way.
Okay.
They clearly appear as SWAT people, but no identifiers, no badges, no. You have no idea who these guys work for or don't. You
It
don't know
would
if they're.
It would be terrible if you did them a fright. Driving a vehicle at night. Just saying.
Just saying.
It'd be terrible.
I mean, I'm not the one that can make myself incorporeal. Or corporeal, that is.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I will report back.
So,
I see man.
what is the mechanic for for making that pop off?
Oh, that's a terribly good question. I'm going to say, just pulling this into my ass, occult and oblivion.
He likes that one.
So,
Yeah,
Mr.
I would either
Grillo-
say that or
Maraca.
all the rituals for the Hakata fall under also resolve and oblivion. So whichever you would like to do.
Well, I have a specialty in necromancy, so
Throw that maraca, baby.
I'll take the occult.
You have enough dice?
Yeah. Critical 8.
All right.
Ooh.
So the way that this works is that Mr. White flies back, relays to you who's following.
SWAT team.
You basically say,
Rattle their cage.
go do this. And the way I'm going to describe this is basically Mr. White goes to the road, say 200 meters in front of him, and then just as they get with about 10 meters of him, he just pops in the road. And of course, the guy's like, "Shut!" And
I'm gonna actively jump toward the window like you would in a stunt fall to make it even more convincing.
So I'm going to make a roll for the driver. Give him a couple of dice penalty because this is scaring the shit out of him. The one is a drive roll to see if he can maintain control of the vehicle after a swerve or a void.
How's it hanging, fellas?
Okay. So he does like, and the van maybe goes up on 2 tires, but he's able to come back. That's the first run. And then I'm going to roll this to see if he's scared shitless. And he is. So he probably is out driving erratically, like completely like deer in the headlights. So the van will run into a tree in front of somebody's house, just boom. And
Was
you
that the
clearly
only
are able to
chase
lose
vehicle?
them. That is the only chase vehicle, yes. And the fact that you were driving without headlights meant that your lights for your license plates were off. So they probably have not gotten your license plate information.
I will then kind of give that creepy 180 neck turn. I'll see you later, boys.
You could probably see that, Luke.
Yes, go back to being incorporeal while staring Luke dead in the eyes and going back into the pocket. Did I do good?
Javier will pat his pocket approvingly.
You turn to see Luke, and he's pointing his revolver at the windshield where Mr. White was a moment ago.
So where?
Hi, Mr. Lennox.
So where is Mr. Germain instructing everyone to go?
We're gonna park at the Haven Club for a minute.
Okay. Are you
And
going
then,
to
make
exit
a-
the vehicles, wander
No,
around, come back, or just park
If
then
any
go?
heat
Okay.
was going to us, we would be in the direction of the Haven Club, and they would get the flack.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a fuck you from last time I storytold.
It's taking it to
Princess
Fiona
Cora.
again.
So you park in front of the Haven Club. It's a quiet night for the Haven Club because, of course, it's a early middle week kind of timeline. So they have patrons, but nowhere near the lineup or comes and goings. Plus, it's also getting close to the time that it would officially close. How long are you gonna wait?
I'd say like a half hour to see if anybody was like chasing us. Just see
Okay.
for enough for like street cams to like get like we're like stopped there, and we spent some time there.
Okay.
And then
So during that half hour, anything going on in terms of conversations or activities?
Right before we would pull in over there, not knowing if we're possibly still being followed or not, I would reach down into my ankle holster. I would pull out my snub nose, and I would slide it over to Sara, and I would say, "You know how to use this, right?
Yes, I do. I also would have
Just in case."
made sure my laptop was completely off. No tracing.
And you do
And
have that box from the antenna.
he would reach inside his vest and pull out a Glock 17, and then screw on the silencer, and then just have it across his lap, waiting for Jude.
So, no guns in the car?
I'm a good
Why?
gun.
I don't know. I guess I just figure with the gun factory, you'd have at least one gun in the car.
In time, yes. But for the moment, with other dealings, it's probably best if I'm not traveling with them.
So, you summoned the ghost to get rid of them or whoever was following us, right?
More or less.
So, did the ghost kill them? Like, can ghosts kill people, or?
I'm going to corporalize just my right hand, placing it on Luke's shoulder, and kind of shake it left or right like a no notion for a few seconds and then let go. His voice can now be heard for half a second of, "I'm good. Not evil, perro." They're alive. Injured but alive. Sweating practically. Techno gear. They're fine.
Luke's gonna actually open the door and step out of the car and pace around the side for a little bit. And then get back in.
It's a good joke.
So,
Jokes.
Luke has the pictures from the safe.
Yeah.
CJ, I'm guessing you have the journals.
He took everything.
He's got everything. Okay.
Yeah, so I got both of them. So it's just like the books are kind of splayed out on the back seat, and the photos are still in his like jacket pockets.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm
nobody
gonna take a look at the photos.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to look through all that material and see what I find.
So
Okay, so here,
looking through
you
the
go.
photos.
Luke hands you the photos he has.
Some
Thank you.
some of them are dated, maybe names on them, but the names are not anything specific. I don't think there's a surname on them. It would just be the first names of the
The older
individuals.
ones, I'm just looking for faces I recognize.
Make a. Hang on a second.
How old are you anyway?
Javier?
Well, did you say it out loud or no?
Oh no, I was just
Okay.
telling the ST.
Okay, got
Yeah,
you.
no.
Yeah, make an intelligence and craft.
Intelligence and craft?
Yeah.
Okay. 6.
Holy fuck! All right.
That's a large pool for me.
Okay. Looking over the photos, you can clearly see what must be a lineage. There are people that are related through the photos.
Okay, so they're family photos from somebody going back untold years.
Yeah, go ahead.
About to say, Ashe would definitely be in them, or Keates would be in them, was more accurately.
Has Javier met Keates? Well, Ashe.
Met Ashe.
Yeah, we met Ashe.
Okay. So you would,
I have.
with that role, you're aware of the fact that that familial lineage
Mm-hmm.
must be related to Ashe.
Huh. Interesting.
What'd you find?
It
Secrets?
appears Ashe has some history here.
What?
You think
How?
the safe is theirs?
What's that?
You think the safe is theirs?
I don't know. But this is clearly that person. And he'll hold up the photo and point.
Yeah, I got that too when I was looking. I was gonna say something, but we had to split.
That's my friend.
Your friend.
My friend?
Speak plainly, White.
Oh,
Keats. Keats. That's Keats.
That's
I know
Keates?
Yeah.
I thought Keates was a thin blood.
Yeah. He is.
Well, Ashe is also supposed to be a thin blood.
Interesting.
The confusion was that Ashe explicitly was saying that they were the thin blood primogen after Jonathan, that they were two separate people.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I wouldn't know any of this besides
Right.
Keats being Keats.
Yeah.
That's him. That's the poet.
Interesting. Well, seems like we're gonna have to have another conversation with Ashe. I'm curious to see what the journals have written in them.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. It might take a while.
We're not going anywhere.
So after a half an hour, there's no overt or covert vans, people, traffic. Seems like you were neither followed nor concerned enough to fall.
I think this whole time, Jude was talking about things to get ready for a blood wedding.
Whose wedding?
Don't worry about it.
How are you, CJ? Look
I've
different.
been better. Let's just say I'm not really accustomed to being out of sorts, and after the seance, I kind of lost control for a couple of minutes.
You did pull some pretty powerful powers.
This is one of the warnings that I was talking about when you deal with the abyss. It's not just all fun and blood.
Oh, it's a cost.
I was asked to assist with Javier and in communication with spirits. I delved a little too far into the abyss. It feels like I'm kind of missing part of myself. It's the exact thing I warned Jacqueline and Melissa about when I caught them when they almost killed themselves in my office, almost being caught at sunrise. Which, of course, I was met with resistance, but this is the exact thing that can come up at.
Well, heed your warnings.
But who am I? Right? Who the fuck am I?
You are someone I care about.
All right. Jude will look at their watch and say that should be enough time.
Where would you like to head off to, cousin?
Not the hospital or the Three Monkeys.
I have a spot that we can hold up at temporarily.
Does it have a landline?
Yes.
We need to tell the other members of this little family. And we need to put in a call to Ashe and maybe Damien.
I would text the address of me, Tierra Delicatessen on the northeast ridge of Manassas.
Why don't we just roll down the window and talk to them?
I would rather not, seeing as how we're in front of this establishment and I don't know
Luke
who
is
could be
literally
hiding outside.
Luke is literally pacing out of the vehicle right now.
Let's just
You're
call
right.
him over.
Roll down the window. Luke,
Yes.
the address.
Oh, okay. Sure. We'll be there.
Rolls out the window.
You see Luke like looking left and right, be like, "Fuck it, go back in with the ghost." He's gonna open the door, go back in, and tell Javier the address.
You think we're hungry? Let's go get a snack.
So this delicatessen, is it a
Yes,
24-hour deli, or does it have a back door?
it does have a back door. It is the current haven of the leftover Putanesca regime that came in from Boston.
Okay. So you drive to this address, knock.
I would head to the back entrance, tell everybody to remain in the vehicle, step out, head to the back door, knock a specific sequence. When the door opens, a 6'10" man with long brown hair pulled back in a ponytail halfway down his back, in a business casual attire, with a goatee that people would recognize as Casanova Putinesca, would open the door. He would nod, and then I would turn to the two vehicles and motion everyone inside. Upon entry, the interior of it is an office area from the back entrance. Also inside is a refrigerator, a pool table, a couple of desks, large screen TV, and then at the far end, for anybody at a vantage point, you would see a set of double doors that you would normally see like at an entrance to a meat locker.
Luke's gonna step through the door. He has a stack of 12 journals held in both of his arms. He doesn't really want to leave behind his loot. He's gonna step through the door and kind of set the stack down the nearest table he sees.
What have you got there, Luke?
It's Keates journals. Found some photos too, but Javier has those.
They're right here. Some interesting pictures, and I would hand them to Sara. Notice a familiar face.
Ouch.
White says that is Keates.
What?
Yes.
But he was talking like it was two different people.
Perhaps he is.
Is this one of your Camarilla Malkavians?
No. Not a milk.
Keates was thin blood, I believe.
He was the thin blood primogen.
Alchemist. Make special potion.
And apparently so was Ashe.
Yes. He
So
became the
is.
primogen after Keates, or so he said.
So there's just never a transfer to them.
Actually, Blanka has doubts that Ashe is a thin blood.
What does she think?
I didn't hear anything.
What are you cackling about, White?
He did have a friend.
What kind of friend?
She was very special to Keates.
Yes, she was his special friend. Why was she his special friend?
Her name was Grace, I think.
Her name was Grace. Okay.
Or is it Anita? I don't know. He talked about her a lot. And wrote poetry. And I think she cried from her forehead. I think.
Cried from her forehead?
What does that mean?
So, everybody who has a cult can make a intelligence and occult roll.
Two successes.
0.
Oh, fuck.
That's,
All right.
I mean, this is what I made this character for.
Yeah.
Oracle of Death.
So,
Yeah.
Sara doesn't hit anything. Germain, it might sounds like something.
When some kindred get hungry enough, they start bleeding from their forehead and like a stigmata.
Could I roll Hecata lore to see if they've heard of anything remotely resembling this?
I can let you do it. Yeah, you'll have a slightly higher difficulty, but sure.
Only two.
Javier, however, knows from his various readings and research that there is a supposed clan of vampires, known sometimes as the Cyclops, formerly known as the Salubri, who have an eye that appears in the middle of their head and will bleed tears of blood.
White, are you sure it was her forehead?
Yeah.
The other thing that Javier knows is that they're pretty much considered a myth. There is no, there's a lot of arguments as to whether they existed. The only substantive thing is if they do exist, they are incredibly rare.
Cousins, indulge me for a moment, but this may be evidence of a salubri? Not that I'm willing to take Mr. White without a grain of salt, but it is possible.
What's a salubri?
It is a clan, at least it's rumored to be a clan, also called the Cyclops clan, and they have a third eye.
And of course, with 7 successes, you also know of the reason that makes them more mythical as well, is that they're renowned for being able to heal the body, heal the blood, and heal the soul of vampires.
And they have pronounced healing abilities, supposedly.
Healing?
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen it. I saw it.
White says he's seen it.
Carlisle would automatically look to Sara.
There is backing away.
Luke would look confused.
Somebody's got a secret.
Let's stay on task. We can spend all night conjecturing what ifs. What do we have?
Certainly.
We have the
Well,
photos.
evidence points to some connection between Ashe and Keates. What that is, we can't confirm for now, other than taking Mr. White at his word. As far
rather
as the
not.
journals, agree.
Yeah, we
As far as
have
the
these.
journals, we should be reading through those to find out.
So, anybody who's going to read the journals, okay, so Sara, Javier, Jude, TJ, no?
No.
Luke, no? Okay,
My
so
job is to get them.
that's fine. So you don't read.
I'm not a reader.
He did the breaking entry. I did the breaking.
So let's make.
I also have a
Oh,
specialty
wait.
in history for academics.
Okay, yeah, let's
Oh.
make intelligence and academics rolls. And yes, your history would apply.
Would my research specialty apply?
Yes, because you are. This is essentially researching what's here.
Luke seems to remember something. When people start looking at journals. Somebody was trying to force that safe, by the way, and they were trying very hard. I didn't get a chance to mention that earlier.
Critical
Interesting.
6 successes with 1 beast.
Well,
Messy crit.
messy crit.
It's
Okay.
great.
No successes, but no bestial failure.
Okay, so, so Mr. Germain, Dr. Germain's, forgive me, reading the book.
You put some respect on that man.
Yeah, sorry.
Saint Germain.
It's too flowery and descriptive. You would drivel. It's just like, fuck off. Just get to the point. You just babble. How many successes did you get, Javier?
4.
4. Okay, so yourself and Sara, between the two of you going through the books, you were able to ascertain a few things. First of all, the books go back decades. They are written in a infrequent timeline where it's sort of like a synopsis of significant or insignificant events in the life of this person. But they go back quite a while. And the entire time, everything that's referenced to is in Prince William. The other things that you learn is that year and a half ago, there was a incident in Prince William where the various Primogens all seemingly simultaneously disappeared, and that this person was one of the group of people who were engaged to investigate what happened to him. And they did so. Ups, downs.
Did they though?
I was about to say that's debatable, but we can continue.
Mostly a big dumpster fire, but it's not written that way. You can read between the lines.
Artistic license. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh no, they would definitely be like, this motherfucker. But flowery, like, yeah.
There's many references to the Book of Nod and finding pieces, putting pieces together, collating it.
Chats of Vicos. Just girl things.
Yeah. And there's a reference to another journal, which is a chemical journal, some sort of experimentation book. There's discussions of success, failure, repetition, learning, but no actual formulae or description of it. Just, oh, experiment A worked great, we'll try again tomorrow. Right? But there is reference to another book, which is not in this collection of books. There's a mention of sarcophagi underneath Prince William, accessible through tunnels. These sarcophagi have script on them that is unknown to this individual. There is comments that the only person who could safely touch the sarcophagi was Damien. If anyone else attempted it, it met with a blast of fire, electricity that did serious harm.
Nearly killed a venture.
And there's during this description of the crypts, there's a rendered drawing of a young girl with long hair in Victorian era clothing. Some reference to this being the guardian, the caretaker, the creature that's down there. And the only other thing of note is that there is frequent messages, especially towards the end, of a particular individual that they have made an effort to obfuscate, clearly for the protection of that individual. There's poems written to this person. There's clearly a deep romantic but not romantic in the modern sense of romance. Romantic in the gothic sense of romantic. So much more deeper and substantive and not based upon physicality, but based upon the intertwining of the soul, as opposed to just being married or a couple. This is much more synergy. And Sara, you're able to read into this a little bit more with your greater successes. That clearly Keates would happily sacrifice himself for this individual. Almost to the point of almost wanting it. And the journal ends almost exactly a year ago, which would be really close to the spectacular.
That's consistent. The meeting at the farm the last time. Spectacular, whatever.
When it was still the farm.
Yes.
Yes, Luke.
Oh no, nothing. Sorry. I'm just.
So confirmation of many of the details already uncovered.
Definitely details of the cave. And the reference to the Guardian.
Celestria.
The inscription was translated, by the way.
Oh, sorry, it was?
Yes. I have that here if you want it.
That'd be excellent, thank you.
Yeah, we definitely want that.
Things need to be said that cannot know the light of the night. Things lie here should ever taste the nectar of vitae ever again, nor shall they know death eternal. Leave them to their forever fate of never-ending nightmare slumber. Leave them forever as a warning to all those who might follow their woes, and it might tempt the universe. There are forces and powers hidden from light, forces not meant for curious minds. Yes, it is a Sumerian and another ancient language.
And one other thing, Sara, that you're able to also put together is that the
I think it's Enochian.
language of the angels, is that the date around the sarcophagus notes is very close, if not exact, to one of the earthquakes.
This state. This is the earthquake.
Yes, it's all tied together.
Earthquake?
Did they open one of these? Yes!
It would
What?
say
What's that,
Yeah.
White?
Damien opened it, and that's where Fiona came from.
Yes. As the doctors say, yes.
That's where Fiona came from.
Yes.
Wait,
Uh,
the
Prince Fiona?
Yes.
So this doesn't make any sense. They wanted to replace Fiona with a doppelganger from What's His Nuts, how we met back at the Three Monkeys. Even though Fiona might be an ancient out of a sarcophagus.
No. The understanding is that it was the Primogens that all disappeared.
Yeah,
Fiona was one of them.
yeah.
When the sarcophagus was opened, Fiona became Prince Praxis.
Does it say specifically that she was pulled from the sarcophagus?
No, I thought that's what you were saying.
Well, that
Yeah,
White
I
said
just
that's where she
took off
came
of you,
from.
Javier.
But between the two of you, you're not reading the same book, right? So you're catching different pieces, and you may have overlooked that or missed it, or when you saw Fiona, you just figured it was the Primogen comment. But it does appear that Damien extracted Fiona from the sarcophagus after it was opened.
And he is the only one who can touch them.
And there was a bleeding onto the sarcophagus at some point.
Why replace an ancient with a doppelganger when you have somebody in power that could potentially put the Camarilla ahead of everybody else right now?
Why?
That
would
doesn't make any sense to me.
There's much about this that doesn't make sense, cousin. We need to sort this out before we make any moves, in my opinion.
Yes. Let's.
Can I see those pictures?
Of course.
I'm gonna look at them from a family history relationship, try and put them in some sort of age order.
Well, it's simple to put them into an age order because you do have daguerreotypes, old black and white, sepia, more current black and white, Polaroid, modern pictures.
Having been alive for all of those.
No, close. Daguerreotype, not so
quite.
much.
Yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, are there actually any old pictures that actually have Jonathan in the photo?
Yeah.
So
Jonathan would take care of like the youngest member of his family as like
all
a
the time.
touchstone. That was a conviction that they held. So you would see them like a lot with like kids and stuff like that, and then like the ones that he's in, and then just like from afar, like taking pictures or like not in the shots of when they're grown up, but still in their lives.
It seems.
And the oldest picture with Jonathan would be a daguerreotype from the as early as photography existed.
Yeah,
right?
is it correct?
So like 1830.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he hasn't changed.
Oh no.
He's old.
Did they have thin bloods back then?
This is the evidence.
Oh, I suppose. I guess it makes sense.
He does seem to take care of different members of his family.
Perhaps he was one of the first Thin Bloods.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which
I don't know
would
about you,
make
but
him that
I
much
don't
more
know how
dangerous.
long they've been around. Ed, assuredly. So, let's break down what we know. What do we know as far as rumors from the cam regarding the spectacular?
I was there, but I wasn't in front. I was still in the cars.
Wait, I don't know why I'm asking you. White, this was your special moment. Tell me about the spectacular.
Fun! I get to talk about the fun.
Just the important parts.
Do I get it right that those of us who have Oblivion can hear Mr. White?
If you activate Oblivion's sight, you can see him. I presume then you can also
You can see
hear
him. I'll double check.
You can only see him,
I don't have Oblivion sight.
so then you can't.
I
Unless you
think
have Sense
Sense
Unseen
would work.
would do the same.
Okay, then I would do that.
Yeah, it's only perceive.
Well, perceive technically means see and hear.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you...
It says perceive, so it's your call.
Yeah, I think it would be both.
Seems fair.
Perception is not limited to sight.
Unfortunately, I got 0 success.
No failures?
No failure.
Okay, good. We don't want you losing a humanity.
No.
Yeah.
Because that was using Oblivion.
Oblivion Sight's free.
It is.
Well, she's not using Oblivion Sight, she's
I was
using
using
Sense Unseen.
aspects.
Also,
Yeah.
Sense the Unseen was
also free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're free.
You didn't even need to roll.
Technically,
Hey,
you
Natalie.
still
You
have
need
to
to rule
roll
to perceive.
effects and resolve
Oh,
to
okay.
see,
Okay.
right?
Cool.
And she got a
Oh,
0.
yeah, to actually, okay.
So she tried, and
And okay.
nothing
Gotcha.
came of it. Nothing horrible, but nothing came of it. All right, Mr. White. Oh, wait.
So, White,
Take it away.
from the top for brevity, please. Brevity.
Okay, so first I was kidnapped, and then I was brought to the farm, and I was put on stake.
Mhm.
The prince, Giorgio was there too. On stake.
Giorgio, the former prince, was staked there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, and so was and he lists off a bunch of names. Telon.
So you've got the Primogen of the Tremere,
Come here. Yep.
and you've got the Primogen of the Ruha,
Hurrah.
Raw.
Oh yeah.
and you
Twins.
have the Sheriff.
The sheriff who was not shackled.
Who's the other person that was staked? Well, there was also various other lower level people that.
Yeah.
My Keates' sire.
Yeah. Well, is that
Yes.
the Primogen of the Tremere?
Hmm.
No,
No, it's just another Tremere.
just a different Tremere. Yeah. So there was the
Because remember, it was all about the traditions.
yeah,
Yes.
So
and
there
it was
was
also
however many traditions there are. That's how many victims.
6.
well, at least that many,
huh.
because don't forget anybody who was considered to be part of the Sabat shenanigans, no matter how low they were gone.
So we were talking about what we know of the spectacular. Several Primogen, a prince, some other alleged Sabat sympathizers. Yes.
Yes. Giorgio. Beatrice.
Giorgio,
I think?
Beatrice the Tremere. Yes.
Yes. Talon. Maurice.
Maurice
Three monkeys.
Telon.
Yeah.
The former owner of the Three Monkeys.
Yes, he was.
Interesting. Who else?
Big guy. Tim didn't like him. Like the fruit. Quince. Walter Quince.
Quince. Walter Quince. Oh, Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He did a Viniculum. Viniculum?
Viniculum.
People drink from cup. All of them. Together. Blood is the bond. My
They're
blood is your
taught-
blood.
Yes, the mutual blood bond.
Yes, very well. Okay, so there was a Sabat infestation that they were dealing with. Now, why is this?
Who wrote this about?
That's a question for later.
Okay.
So,
What Camarilla, what most people say are the boogeymen under your bed.
Let's see. So after I was kidnapped and put on the cross, there was a lot of talk about the traditions.
mhm,
You know, the 6 of them, and I was charged with one of them.
uh-huh.
So I was put on fire. I got to choose that.
You chose
And-
fire. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised? Go on.
Okay, and the sheriff, Ramona. Yeah, Ramona. She was
Sheriff
judged
Ramona.
to be. Yeah, she was judged to be not guilty.
Found not guilty. Interesting.
She went with her mother, her blood mother, and her actual blood mother,
Her blood mother.
Yeah.
What?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Who is
Yeah,
Annabelle?
Who she worked for Damien.
Worked for
She was my
Damien.
Dominator. Yeah, she was my regnant.
Was your regnant? Interesting. So it sounds like they tried to put you on a leash towards the end. We all see how that worked out.
Yeah, it was fun.
Lovely.
I got to make no free will. Well, it was fun.
Yeah. So I think that's all the use we're gonna get out of that.
Oh.
There's one more thing.
Yeah. Hartletat. Hartstead. Yeah. His shotgun was there, the spectacular, and
Hardestat shotgun.
yeah, and it took care of Mycos, Lycos, Dracos, Ficos. Yeah,
Took care of
Face.
Vicos.
yeah, but Tim lost a leg, but it's okay.
But
it came
Tim
back.
lost a leg.
It's okay. It came back.
This is the Scourge, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There was
So the
a
cam had a big
shotgun
to-do.
Aviles. Gold-plated.
Yeah. Had insignia on it.
That must have been Toon.
Wait. Tune is Hardestat's shotgun?
Yes.
That's what Mr. White is saying.
It was given to him by
Given to him by
an Archon.
an Archon.
The
Lovely.
Hardestat.
Another Archon.
How many Archons
Another
are there here?
That's a great question. White, how many Archons were here? That you know of?
Seeds.
3.
3, maybe 4, but at least 3.
3, maybe 4, but at least 3. Interesting.
Damien.
Damien.
The big guy.
The big guy. That's very useful.
Howitzer.
A name, perhaps?
Like a cannon. He was big like a cannon.
Howitzer. Very well.
Howitzer.
And the last one?
I think her name was Atropos.
Atropos.
Or maybe it was a him. I don't know. They were fabulous.
Apropos of nothing. Wonderful.
Atropos.
Fate?
Atropos. Very well.
Yes. Like fate.
There was
Oh, you-
another important person. The Alistair.
Crowley? He mentioned.
No.
No. There was somebody else. I
Yeah.
can't.
Alistair Crowley is the actual Crowley, not the Crowley of this
Yeah.
game.
Derp.
There was someone. Alistair?
Alistair. Who is Alistair?
You'll have to figure that out, won't you?
The Arquist.
Interesting.
Oh,
Mhm.
Dark
No,
Meat?
it's Lucindy.
Cindy.
Oh, Lucinda.
Yeah, Lucinda.
Kutindi?
What? Shut up! Stop talking! You worm! You piece of shit! Shut up!
Lucindy!
She's
Lucinda.
a Justicar.
Oh,
Lucinda.
lovely.
She was very
A-
mean.
She was very white.
She liked to be very mean.
Hmm.
She scared all of us.
She sounds delightful.
But
You pathetic
yeah.
worm!
I know. Find Tim.
Find the
Don't
Scourge? Yes, that's exactly what I'll do, White. That's a brilliant idea.
No. If you can't find Tim, find Damien. Damien's a friend. He told me I'd
Damien
have
is a
unlimited
friend.
power. Yeah, he told me I'd be the prince.
Right.
I think your spirit friend is losing it, Javier.
Agreed.
Did he also crown you the King of Fools?
Yes, he did.
Mhm.
King of Fools, indeed.
I'm sorry, I've been extremely rude. Whose domain can I speak to the owner of this haven?
Talking to you, big guy.
That would be you.
No, this specific place that we're in.
This specific place is the haven of the Putanesca, which is under me, which I'm under you.
Right, but who's running this?
You.
Leo.
No, Cass.
Cass.
Cass is currently watching over right now, but there's several that reside here.
Where's the phone?
In the back.
There's a Bakelite phone hanging on the wall.
I'm gonna go make a few phone calls.
I'll keep trying to piece together what I can here.
It's probably one of the last remaining rotary phones that's functioning.
Wait, so when you said the hardest stat, you mean the hardest stats?
Who's that?
He's like the guy that made like all of this whole thing, like the Camarilla. He did that.
He made the Camarilla.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why is a shotgun here?
You seem in awe of this apparent magical shotgun.
What's so big about it? What's the big deal?
It makes fire.
The shotgun I don't care about. It's just the fact that hardest stats thing is here and somebody here has it. That means a lot.
Oh, there were archons glowing through. You know how the cam is.
I suppose, but yeah, whatever. So, wait, so let me get this straight. So you're saying the prince that we have now is different than Fiona before. It's a different person is what you're saying.
We don't
Supposedly
know.
it's an ancient.
So the Fiona before has been replaced with this new
I doubt it.
agent.
That's too convoluted. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm making a phone call.
Make a call.
You can comment from across the room while you're on the phone. You're still dying.
I guess so, yeah.
No, that can't be true.
Either way, we're going to have to ask some questions
Yep.
before we commit to anything in this, whatever it is you want to call it, that the cam has going on here. But not my organization to run, not my problem.
Javier, can you ask White if he knows how long ago the sarcophagus was opened?
White, did you hear him?
That
Get out of here.
was the earthquake. That was. And I provide you the timeline.
It's like
Because
16
I've known
months
it
ago.
for a while.
Yeah.
Her sarcophagus?
I will give them exact dates, times, and locations of everything felt. Oh, it was at Elysium, so 2 nights before that was the
2
bigger
nights
one.
before the Elysium, so it was on that day.
Yeah, was early September, I think.
Confirmed date
Elysium.
with rest of party.
The Elysium that we attended?
No, this
Yeah.
is a prior Elysium.
Which Elysium then?
It was at
What?
St. Clair Estate.
At the St. Clair Estate.
That would make sense.
My
Every
friend Ronald died there.
Isn't that the
Whoa, wait,
place?
your friend who died there?
Ronald died there.
Ronald?
Yeah, he was eaten by one of Vicos' spirits. Chewed on him. and made a mockery of him because the prince was told to by Vikos. Yeah, Giorgio was told to.
Interesting. Vikos told Giorgio to do what?
To
First of all,
take...
Vikos was it an Elysium?
Yes, he called it. He called the Elysium.
Vikos called the Elysium.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why Giorgio was on a pyre.
So, also in your reading, didn't make sense. Maybe your dots didn't go together. But the original request to find out what happened to the Primogens was sent to the previous investigators in a letter that was a Primogen letter, or at least an Archon, and it was an imposter. And Keates would have mentioned that towards the end of his thing, that they discovered that who had brought them into the investigation was under false pretenses.
There's an entry here.
And the letter with Vikos holding Elysium was living. It was a living letter.
There's a living flesh. The letter? Oh, yeah. I know about the letter. It was made of flesh. And it breathed. And you muted.
A letter made of flesh, you say?
Yeah. I think there's one. I think there's one with St. Clair State, and I think Crowley might have the other. I think.
Crowley has one. Lovely.
I think.
Crowley has
Or maybe he doesn't.
correspondence with Vikos, and that's documented with Keats's notes.
Yes.
There's
Interesting.
definitely
So
a
you said
connection here.
So you
Yeah.
said this Vikos was fake?
That's what's in.
That's what's in
my
this
writings as
entry.
well.
Here.
Fake how, White?
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger.
Clone.
Another dot.
Clone. Interesting.
I think the
It
Vikos
means-
was Zemisi. He could make people into him.
Yes,
Or
Zemitzi.
her.
Right. But this is not our first experience with this particular play. Sound familiar to anyone else? And Javier will look around.
Of people putting people into power to impersonate other people, like which was described to us at the Three Monkeys a couple of evenings ago.
Yes.
We just received a boatload of info. We need
Yes.
to decipher what we need to actually pick out in order to meet our goal.
I can't help but
What's our
think
goal?
some of this is valuable outside of that, which should be considered as well. We may
Wait.
be able to make
We have a goal.
additional moves. Yes, White, we have goals. That's why we're
Yay!
here, unliving, and you aren't.
Okay. Anything else I can think of? So Lester can make those same dogs appear, just like Vikos.
What?
Yeah,
What
in the
dogs?
darkness. Yeah, the demon dogs. They like to
Demon
eat us.
dogs in the darkness.
Yeah, they ate us in the darkness.
You
They. He's
Keats
babbling
may have
again.
written about that.
I pull out a picture out of my backpack, my laptop bag, and it's of the cave. It's a still from the video, and it's of the monster dragging the person away. Is he talking
Does it
about
look like this, White?
Was it canine in features? Big maw, gaping maw. Yes. No, that again. No, that again. No.
And
Take it away.
confirmed.
Take it away. Take it away. Take it away.
That
No,
is
no,
the
no.
dog.
All of these sarcophaguses are in sarcophagi are in the same chamber area.
Yes.
Yes. Make it go
Yeah.
away. Yes. Make it go
Why
away.
don't we just collapse the cave?
Good luck. She
I
won't
have
let
been
you.
doing my own research into what you sent me, Sara.
What did you find, Jude?
I would like to put Fiona back in one of those fucking boxes.
Interesting.
I am not fond of using Jax on a suicide mission to fight the prince.
You're
Not even-
doing what?
Likewise.
I think
Seems a waste.
You will not harm her.
so.
Oh,
I,
be quiet,
I,
White.
I am having a blood wedding, and I'm marrying Blanka.
Rosa.
Wait, what'd you say?
I didn't. It
Blanka.
wasn't an open invitation for questions. This is the statement. I am going to officially declare this the same day that whatever prince holds praxis. She claims praxis. It'll be an alibi for all of us. And if she were to go missing and stuffed back in the fucking box she was in, I don't think anybody will point fingers at us.
You can blame me.
Seems a fair plan.
With only one flaw, cousin. If she is an ancient,
She's not an ancient.
she came out of a sarcophagus, supposedly. So she has to have some type of power.
She came out of a sarcophagus. She was known in the domain before. Went missing in a container that holds ancients and came out of it.
Did Keates ever mention the blood that he gave to Crowley, or from Crowley? To anybody?
Yes.
To whom?
It would say it in the notes.
Okay.
So everybody that's in the sarcophagi then are former individuals that resided in the domain
At least
that
some.
were just stuffed away in them.
Yes. And
And
there was no serpents.
we don't know any residual effects besides only an archon that can touch them. Otherwise, everything gets set on fire.
Yes.
So how do we know there's not any extracurricular lingering effects on these individuals who got pulled out of said sarcophagi, and why were they put into them in the first place?
Well, when we can ask Damien and Ashe that.
Van Doren came from one.
What?
It doesn't say that on the notes.
No, but that's what he thinks.
Interesting.
Maybe not, though. I don't know. Yes? No? I don't know.
I just want to make sure before we confront someone to put them back into a box, we're not getting in over our heads. There's a difference between
When
5 to
I
7 of us against a single kindred and 5 to 7 of us against something extremely powerful.
no, I don't want 5 to 7. I want 50 at least.
Well, we currently don't have 50, cousin.
We do. I have 50 by myself.
50 with a conscious mind.
I can help.
I don't doubt the number of hands you can control.
Or when we put pieces of her in a box, the one with the brain can do the sweeping.
Boss, I have an idea.
What, Mr. White?
You could put me in her body, and I could walk her into the coffin.
I'm not gonna put you in her body. That's a terrible idea.
Oh my.
But I want to feel pretty, boss.
Your desire to feel pretty notwithstanding, not a good plan, White.
Okay, but I'll I'll excuse what I did to the children then.
Anyway,
So who was Jude calling?
Jude is firstly gonna call Jordan
Okay.
and just say, be careful, stay safe, and hang up.
Okay.
I'm going to call Jax and say the same thing. Be careful, stay safe. Shit is going down pretty much, and hang up. And then I'm going to call Blanka. And I think my demeanor changes a bit and say, we're in a bit of a situation right now. Make sure that where you are is secure. And I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
And then I think after a little bit of brevity, but not, I'm clearly waiting for the other person to respond. I'm not just hanging up and just saying my piece and hanging up.
All right. Well, Blanka would give you the appropriate reassurances that she normally would. You probably cut Jax off halfway through asking a question or saying something flustered. And Jordan would expect absolutely no different from you, so it's just business as usual. All right. So here we are sitting in a Puttanesca haven behind a deli. Is there anything else you want to do before the night ends?
Luke is like glancing over occasionally at Jude and Milliner and Javier, just seeming to be completely surprised at the announcement in between throwing darts at the dartboard that is there. He's just throwing darts otherwise.
All right.
Javier's reading through the journals, just trying to see if there's anything he missed.
Sarah's studying. Puzzles are her thing.
Now you do have that box that was on the antenna tower.
Should pull it out.
Gonna start looking for sleeping arrangements and making the place secure.
What would you like me to do to investigate this box?
Intelligence, technology, computer specialty. And don't forget you have 2 blood dice?
3.
3. Oh,
I've been
one's hungry. And she burned a 4th willpower.
don't need to.
A lot of will
Or
tonight.
with a crit.
All right.
Oh.
So 4 with a crit. Okay. So you crack it open. Again, it's another little pie, homebrew kit, but it's done very professionally. There is no serial number on it. You are able to connect to the console port and try to get into the iOS, and you find that it is heavily encrypted. So essentially the connections that were connected to it was power, so it was plugged into the house power somehow, and coaxial cable, so it was hooked up to the home internet, but it was also broadcasting, so it had redundancy in terms of connection. It's now stone dead. There's no battery. There's no lingering charge or anything.
I'm not trying to get it to activate.
No, not expecting you would. And because it's so heavily encrypted, you can't even figure out what wireless or broadband connectivity it was using. No IP, nothing. The MAC address that might be physically on the chip is wrong.
Someone's hiding themselves. This isn't normal. Ruth might be able to help.
It's
The
like,
other thing I can do is try to attack it the way I did the information Luke found.
White, can you tell me anything about the people in the van?
Storyteller, do I recognize these same gentlemen that I did a year ago prowling the streets near the Haven Club?
If they would have been the SI or
Yes.
something like that.
Or yeah,
They had similar. Yeah, they would be similar enough to make that presumption.
okay.
So they were all wearing balaclavas, blackened out eyes, throat mics, SWAT gear,
Yep.
small arms, but no reflective
No
surfaces,
patches, no-
and no identifier whatsoever.
I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't friends.
Clearly,
They killed a hobo.
killed a hobo. What? Who were they, White?
We don't know. I think they were tied to my daughter. They were
Your
spooks.
daughter.
Yeah. I think they call themselves the Inquisition. The Mexican
Oh.
Inquisition? The Spanish one? No, the second one. The second Inquisition.
So, Mr. White believes our friends this evening were from a 3-letter agency.
That is. I am shocked and awed that they got something right. Very obvious.
Well, they couldn't get the safe open then.
Do you think that they either might have had the safe opened already and just kept the stuff in there, keeping it as a trap?
This
They-
was
they like
definitely
traps.
planned. These cameras and the repeater. It was planned.
Right, but they might know the knowledge in the books, is what I'm saying.
There was two people I knew. Jim Morrison?
Jim Morrison.
Yeah, I knew a Jim. No, not Jim. Agent Morrison and
Agent Morrison. Lovely.
Yeah, and Agent Daoud.
Agent Daoud. You really got around, White.
They didn't know who I was though. I was sneaky.
Hmm.
Jim? Yeah, was it Jim? No, James Morrison. And Agent Mohsin Daoud. Yeah. They
James
kidnapped
Morrison and Mohsin Daoud.
Yeah,
Agents you knew?
Yeah, they kidnapped Jax.
They kidnapped Jax.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Drugged her. They
Drugged her.
I think.
Was this before her embrace?
Yes.
Before her embrace. Interesting.
And she made us drink the special tea. That
Specialty.
yeah, the Dr. Janet had. Dr. Weiss had special tea.
Sleepy time tea?
Okay.
Don't think so.
Dr. Weiss gave him mushroom tea, and it messed with her head.
Hmm.
And then I think she said something about more drugs in her head.
Not surprising.
But they burnt down a house in the woods.
They burned
Dr.
down a
Weiss's.
house in the woods. Dr.
Yeah.
Weiss's house?
Yes.
So we have some questions for Jax and Dr. Weiss. We can confirm at least some of this.
Ask her about the therapy tea.
Therapy tea. Interesting.
It helps you relax.
I bet it does.
It's very good. It's very tasty. And they were investigating the children.
The children? What children were they investigating?
Oh, would you look at my watch? I have to go.
Wait, you're not going anywhere. Answer.
I was a bad man.
No
And-
shit.
And well, see, in my old group we had a Ventru who liked to be in charge.
So
and-
event true, yes.
Yeah. And the Toreador agreed with him to take the children from the farm to the Succubus Club. And
Wait, they took
Next state
children
over.
from the farm to the Succubus Club a state over.
kidnapped them.
And their
What happened
parents?
to those children? Jax is looking for them.
He shrugs. He gives a ghostly shrug.
White
I
doesn't
didn't-
know.
I didn't see them after. I couldn't. I was so delirious. I just agreed to it.
Delirious.
Yeah. We
Was
ate
this
everybody
the...
there.
Oh, Jesus.
What,
This is the
what-
event at the farm when Jax became an orphan.
Wait. Oh shit. I think she had friends there. That tech girl.
The what?
Your friend there with the computer.
Uh-huh. She had
I
friends
might
there?
have taken somebody from her.
Whoa, wait. White, you took someone from who? Sara? Right here?
Yeah.
And I'll point at Sara. Who?
Did you have family that believed in Malachi?
Sara, does Malachi ring a bell? No?
Okay, must have been the other kidnappers.
Must have been the other kidnappers. What other
Yeah.
kidnappers?
That might have been Victor's problem. Victor also liked to kidnap people for Sinclair.
Victor liked to kidnap people for... I'm assuming this is the Ventru.
Yes.
It's a pretty
He was a
Ventru
god, you
name.
know. He was a
Yeah,
god.
I'm sure he was.
He made out
Delightful, White.
But if I did take her or him, I'm sorry. I do regret it.
Yes, your apology is very useful in this form.
Well, I am being tortured daily.
Perfect. Cousins, I don't think we're going to get much else from Mr. White on this subject.
Sorry.
So we
So-
need allies?
We need to piece all these pieces together so we know who is actually possibly an ally.
Prince William
You
is
need
a
to
very
find-
dangerous place.
Indeed.
So-
I mean, we're here.
So we leave the vampires sitting around a table in this back room of a deli, positing their next plans, considering their options. And we zoom to somewhere else. Manassas? Maybe not. In a room that is sterile. There's a desk. There's a high back chair. There's a gentleman sitting at it. Phone rings. He answers the phone. The conversation is essentially, we had a visit at the site. Results? None. They took the repeater, broke the camera. We didn't get any bases or license plates. They were able to avoid the chase team. The team sent to the site found nothing out of the ordinary. Everything seemed as it was left. Orders? Re-engage the camera and the repeater. Perhaps we'll broaden our search. Will do. The conversation ends abruptly. And the dawn comes. With that, all of the vampires return to their state of death during the day, to be risen on the next night and resume the activities of Prince William by night, the night shift. Thank you, audience, for joining us during this session, getting a big download of stuff from season 1. It was a pleasure having you. We look forward to seeing you again. Please ensure to listen to the continuance after this episode. There is the announcements regarding mental health, personal health, crisis numbers. We take that seriously. We may play characters that like to skirt on the edge of sanity, but we don't recommend that people have that in real life. Reach out, find friends, find help. And thank you all. Good night for those that wish to jump. For those that don't, we do our usual highs, lows, and noms. And we'll start with Luke.
Yeah. So highs and lows. The highs. I think we had a very, I guess, coordinated session. I think it was a good balance between, I guess, action, as you could say, and a lot of exposition and stuff. And I really, really liked how I felt every character had an interaction with one of the other characters to some degree. Especially some of those like interactions we don't see that often, like Javier and Luke, or Jude and Sara, that kind of stuff. Lows, I honestly can't think of one right now. I'm going to be the lame-o and say I don't really have a low. It was just a really, really good session. I had a really good time. And for noms, I'm going to give it to Javier, just because I think we got a lot out of his character this time. But I don't know. I feel like there's so many just noms I could give out, but I only give one. So I have to give it to Javier just for having a lot of really, we got a lot of insight into his character. We had a lot of cool dialogue. Just really neat time.
Javier.
So, thank you, man. Lots of highs tonight. The exposition dump, a lot of the commentary back and forth was real fun. The only low that I really have is man, it's hard not to metagame when you know some of this stuff out of character. It's ball breaking. So that is definitely my low for the evening, is having to try and not ruin it for everyone else. But yeah, the nom for me, man, it's always so hard. I gotta give it to Mr. White, honestly. That was great. The manic, and some of this is info, some of this is bullshit. Which is which, right? So that's I definitely enjoyed that. So that's my nod for the MVP.
Mr. White. Hello, Mr. White.
Speak up, White.
Sorry about that. I had used cans.
No worries. We can't tell when you leave.
I know, that's my fault. High point, low point, and nomination. Nomination, Mr. Luke. I love the mask, my friend. Burglar for the ends. High point. Getting to see Randy as Javier be Javier. Or Javier. My Spanish is rusty. Jude pulling out his fantastic. Oh, fuck. Alright, guess I gotta talk about this time. Helped. CJ, brilliant as always. Sara, brilliant. Y'all fucked. Low point being we had a recording mishap. It happens.
Oh no! What are you talking about? We recorded this perfectly
Absolutely perfect.
every
One
time.
take.
That's
One
right.
spotless.
Without fail.
Spotless.
The footage you're seeing is unedited entirely.
Professional.
Another low point being, you know, maybe I said too little. Maybe I said too much. Maybe I didn't convey what I wanted to say the right way. But I have to be that mysterious because I don't want a metagame.
No, I
Like
think,
Javier says.
well, as Javier pointed out, the metagame is hard to avoid. You're the only one who can kind of get away with it because you're the one who was actually there in character. I know Jude's probably like seeming in the corner, like, they missed so many things.
And to that I say, Chase, hit me up. Give me your notes that you need to think I need to tell them about that I would be there for. Same thing with Sara. And I will make sure that I get the right stuff out for the next info dump.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
moving
sometimes
on.
we don't want to do it all at once. Give it a little bit smaller chunks.
Yeah.
And next person.
DJ.
I had two highs. One was Luke with that fucking mask. So it was hard at the very beginning to take you fucking seriously. Not as bad as the chicken, but pretty fucking close. Two, a bomb dropped by Jude and everybody's expression about a blood wedding. I thought that was fucking priceless.
You couldn't hear, but I shat myself a little. It's like, fuck.
Didn't really have a low besides recording stuff, but that happens, you know. Technology isn't perfect. My nomination for this evening has to go to Mitwad. The scene with the car chase and scaring the shit out of them, and then just the dialogue between Javier and Mr. White. It's going to be very sad to see Mr. White actually go, because if he was a cooperative member of the group, he could have a lot of potential, but he's a crazy fuck and he's unpredictable and you can't fucking have somebody like that hanging around for too long, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Try to
Jude.
weasel. Mr. White tried to weasel in. Oh, just let me use Fiona's body.
My God,
No.
I want to feel pretty. I want to feel pretty.
Okay, I
We're
feel
not-
pretty and witty.
I was just thinking that.
Mr. White with Majesty just doesn't it doesn't go well for anybody.
Have a good one, Dave.
Yeah, thanks Dave for
Damn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just give me Majesty. That'll work for everybody's favor. Entire room.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
I just get on TV for the entire county. Majesty. You're all my bitches now.
Who built this?
Dave,
Dave, when he
Dave.
Close your window, Dave.
Dang it, Dave.
Dave's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we
No,
dropped.
Dave.
Not
Alrighty.
really a low, just the normal. No sleep. That's fine though. High.
You did
was
excellent though.
Yeah.
Exposition.
Not having any sleep.
Story. It was all really fun. I got to drop the bombshell from the Playboy post for a lot of people that didn't get a chance to check it out yet.
I will now.
I read it.
So I'll hook you in. Yeah, my high, my nom. Everyone.
He's throwing it.
He's rolling the die.
Everyone gets it.
Everyone.
It's over tonight. You get a nom, and you get a nom, and you get a nom.
Luke,
Oh, thank you.
you riffed off everyone. The costume change was fun. Yeah, it was really great all around.
Sara.
Heinz is getting to use some of Sarah's other skills.
Yeah.
She's kind of a skill monkey. She has a lot of knowledge, a little bit of knowledge in a lot of things. So, that's fun. Low. I didn't laugh enough. I don't know. And as for Anam, yeah, Mitwad, you're amazing. I love the way you play Mr. White. Other than that, Luke, you always make me chuckle.
It's the darts, Luke.
So, for me, I'm getting more comfortable being in this chair, being the storyteller and putting it together. I didn't know where tonight was going to go. It went well as far as I'm concerned. I liked, some of the stuff that happened and some of the stuff I made happen. Lows, just the fact that I didn't screw up the recording in the beginning. It's all one take, baby, one take.
It was just like dress rehearsal. We had dress rehearsal for the opening.
And I concur. I believe Mr. White gets it simply because a lot went on his shoulders tonight with regards to bridging season 1 and season 2. The journals were there, but Mr. White gave it a little bit more verisimilitude as far as the understanding and beliefs of the party. So I will give it to Mr. White. So everybody gets their 2 XP. Mr. White, you have 3.
Yep. I will probably transfer those to. Yep, I was going to say either transfer that to Flatty or I'll transfer that to Javier for, since he's my domator.
Yeah, wow.
I'll talk to Dave.
So with that,
I mean, I'll take him if you're giving him.
I will talk to Dave.
I'll find a use for him.
He's not going to unspread his legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you to our audience once again. Thank you for sticking around as late as you have. Have yourselves a great week, month, year, whatever. And we will see you again next time in the dumpster fire that is Prince William by night. Thank you all. Hello, my name is Trevor Chapman, and I play Rico Suede on Prince William by Night, the Night Shift. I'm here to remind you that your mental health is a very important thing. We all have problems, and I do mean all of us. I personally have suffered from both clinical depression and suicidal ideation. Sometimes it can be hard to share our issues because we don't want to burden other people, or we're too afraid or ashamed of the things we have done or the feelings that we have to even try to reach out to other people. But friends and family are here for a reason. They would much rather hear that something is happening in your life and help you with it than to find out too late that they didn't even know and they couldn't even try. If you feel that you can't talk to your friends or family, there are other resources available for you to talk to. Please take advantage and reach out to them. There is no need for you to go through this alone. We all need help sometimes. There is absolutely no reason to feel ashamed or afraid to ask for assistance, especially if you need it right now. If you or someone you know is in crisis, whether they are considering suicide or not, please call the toll-free lifeline at 800-273-TALK to speak with a trained crisis counselor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline connects you with a crisis center within the Lifeline network that is closest to your location. Your call will be answered by a trained crisis worker who will listen empathetically and without judgment. The crisis worker will work to ensure you feel safe and identify options and information about mental health services in your area. Your call is completely confidential and free. Again, that number is 800-273-8255. If you are unable, unsure, or prefer not to speak in person, text the word NAMI to 741-741 to connect with a trained crisis counselor to receive free 24/7 crisis support via text message. You are not alone. Trained expert advocates are available 24/7 to provide confidential support to anyone experiencing domestic violence or seeking resources or information. Help is available in Spanish as well as other languages. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline toll-free at 800-799-SAFE. Again, that is 800-799-7233. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, help is available. Call the National Sexual Assault Hotline toll-free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 800-656-HOPE. Again, that is 800-656-4673. You will be connected with a trained staff member from a sexual assault service provider in your area that offers access to a range of free services. For the Disaster Distress Helpline, call 800-985-5990 or text the word TALK with us to 66746. This helpline provides immediate crisis counseling for people who are experiencing emotional distress due to any natural or human-caused disaster. This multilingual, confidential, and free helpline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, call 800-985-5990 or text TALK with us to 66746.